Hi, everybody. It's the Friday edition of Proline. I'm Dave Koken from Jim Fife Sports. It's John Crinton. We are going to look at tonight's Red Sox-Tigers matchup in just a moment. We'll get you updated first with what's happening. I've got a huge game tonight. In fact, it's the biggest of them all. It's my 2011 baseball game of the year. I found the perfect storm for what I do of situation, statistical, and opinion, if you will. And I think this is just an absolutely great play. Now, this game's being sold online. You can get it at ProLineTV.com and a few other websites as well. It's a high roller play. This is one of those $500 games I talk about, and that's what it's selling for online. So, and you'd be surprised the number of people who will buy a game and pay that kind of a price for it. The reason there's big players out there and they're looking for the biggest plays. Here's an opportunity for you to get the game for basically 90% off. $49. It's actually a little more than 90% off. $49 if you call into my office at 1-866-841-1665. That's 1-866-841-1665. Obviously, to make this worthwhile, you got to be playing a couple $100 on it. But it's not designed for guys that are betting $20 a game. And I apologize for those of you who might be playing at that level. But this is the type of stuff I spent a lot of time researching. These games win big. And if you want the game, make sure and take advantage. Believe me, I'd love to have you buy it online and spend the $500. But if you want to save money, and if you're not quite at that level where you can afford to spend a nickel to get a game, this is a good way for you to get in on my game of the year for 2011. $49, 1-866-841-1665. The game's going to win big. Make sure you call to get that big game. As for Jim, John, he's got a holiday weekend special. Not going to cost quite as much. Only $4.
Yeah, nice Memorial Day special. You get 4 days of action for $4. That's 4 straight days this entire Memorial Day weekend. $4, and 2 of those plays go tonight, one in the NHL, one in baseball. You can get it by calling 1-866-841-1655.
All right, get in on that. Get my big game. Get all that stuff from Jim all weekend long. Make some money for yourself. It's more fun when you win. I guarantee you that. Tonight, the Red Sox and Tigers matching up, and the Tigers, wow, they got just bulldozed by the Red Sox on Thursday. Boston is red hot right now, 11 out of the last 13 in the win column. Carl Crawford is scorching. What's he got, 8 hits in his last 2 games? He's up to almost 250, considering where he was languishing for most of the year. That's pretty good. Max Scherzer, well, the good news for him, John, is at least the last time he faced the Red Sox and got destroyed like this, he got sent down to Toledo the next day. That's not going to happen this time. It was just a bad game for Scherzer. Tonight, Wakefield on the mound for the Red Sox. The old knuckleballer is going to turn 46 in a little bit, or 45, I guess. I don't want to screw him out of a year there. He's amazing. He keeps on going. And Rick Porcello, a very good young pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. He's starting to live up to the billing and the hopes that they had for him. Got a nasty 2-seamer that sinks, gets a lot of ground balls, right about 50% ground balls this year. So maybe he can take some of the wind out of the Red Sox sails and the Tigers can atone for yesterday's embarrassment. Let's break it down. What do you think?
Yeah, you get 2 pitchers on the mound here, one a young guy and one an old veteran here. They're both actually, I consider them above average pitchers. Red Sox are the team that nobody wants to play right now. You can just forget about that 2-10 start in April. I mean, look at the last 17 road games alone, 11-6. Offensive numbers are just sizzling for this team. 4th in baseball in runs scored, 3rd in batting average, 2nd in on-base percentage, 2nd in slugging. I mean, this is similar to what they have been the last couple of years, and this is right on the money to what everybody was predicting coming into this season. And even in steals, they're 13th with some speed. I suspect they'll be better than that. When you and I were growing up watching the Red Sox, I'd see guys like the Rooster and Marty Barrett steal 15 bases in a season and think, well, we got ourselves a leadoff here. But that was nothing compared to what they have now with Crawford and Ellsbury. Ellsbury particularly, he's been huge for this team. Big question mark coming into this season based on what happened last year with injuries. But he's one of the few guys who's played every game for this team, if you can believe that. And look at some of the other numbers. They're 20-7 against winning teams, and the last 12 games on the road against winning teams, 11-1. Now with Wakefield on the mound, difficult guy to handicap because of that knuckleball. I still think he's an above average pitcher, even at this age. He's allowed fewer hits than innings pitched. Amazingly, he still doesn't walk anybody for a knuckleballer. the things I like to look at with Wakefield is the ballpark that he's in and the weather conditions. And I don't like to back him when he's indoors because of the dome. I like to have a little bit of wind with a knuckleballer. But again, you never know with him. He can implode. Well, for this game, it's kind of Wakefield weather. 58 degrees, cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour wind, 20% chance of rain. So if a little bit of wind is swirling, I think that's good for a knuckleballer. And let's face it, it's a big park. That's going to help a guy like Wakefield. And this offensive team for Detroit, kind of in the middle of the pack right now, 13th in runs, 13th in on-base percentage. I actually like the talent that the Tigers have on offense. I think by the end of the season, they'll be better. I mean, they got Victor Martinez back playing well. They're still without Ordonez and Phil Koch, but Cabrera's on this team. And even Austin Jackson, I like the guy at leadoff, but boy, he's really struggled this season at 227, 282 on base percentage. I suspect he'll be better. But right now this team is not playing as well as they should be offensively. And that's not a good thing to be facing the Red Sox right now. Now, with respect to the guy on the mound, Porcello, the guy for tomorrow who's going to go is Andrew Oliver. They're bringing him up for AAA. He's a lefty, and I suspect more teams are going to do that against the Red Sox because they have a lefty lineup that is just crushing right-handed pitching. And unfortunately for the Tigers, Porcello is a right-hander. Very good numbers overall. Career-wise against Boston, only pitched one game against them, but an ERA over 6, gave up 9 hits in 5 innings. And I look at his last 6 starts, 5-1 team record, very good. However, look who he beat. He beat the Pirates, beat the Twins, the Mariners, the Oakland A's, and the Yankees. Okay, 4 bad offensive teams. And he did have 2 weeks off before his last start when he beat the Pirates, but he only threw 84 pitches in that game. And this, by the way, this will only be his 3rd home start, which is unusual. So based on the price for the red-hot Red Sox, I can't go against the Sox in this situation, so I'd be backing on this one.
Well, I would agree with that, John. Boston is, when they're rolling, they're the best team in baseball. It's that simple. I'm not saying that as a Red Sox fan. This is one time where it's just true. There's no bias.
Well, you can say that, too.
Well, the team's loaded. The dicey part for the Red Sox is the back of the rotation. And Wakefield's included in that. I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be part of the rotation coming into the season. He was kind of the 6th guy, the swing guy, if you will, with Dice-K and Lackey holding down the last 2 spots. But the thing is that he can still go out there and do what he does. There's nothing fancy here. I mean, the likelihood is the Tigers will get some runs in this game, probably 3 or 4 runs off Wakefield at some point. Unless he has a really bad game, though, he probably doesn't give up more than that. He still goes out and gives you 6 innings. He'll give up 3 or 4 runs. And with the Red Sox offense, that's good enough. All you want, if you're Terry Francona, you want just a quality start from your guys. Even the studs at the top of the rotation, if they just go out and give a quality start, the offense is probably going to take care of most of the rest, especially against right-handers. Well, Wakefield's doing that right now. And, excuse me. One note, by the way, one of the weird things with the knuckleball, he actually likes it when the wind's blowing out a little bit. It makes the ball dance more. When the wind's blowing in, or there's no wind at all, it doesn't have the same impact on it. So that's just something for that you can file away as far as the Wakefield knuckleball is concerned. But the bottom line is he's throwing it well right now. Opposing batting average isn't particularly much. His ERA is legitimate. It's not like Wake's going to be making any All-Star appearances, although he did make one a couple of years ago. However, he's still able to go out there and give you decent innings. For Detroit, they get a lot of streaky guys in their lineup, and that's been a problem for them. I mean, obviously, Miguel Cabrera is not one of them. He's great. Victor Martinez, nothing to worry about there. But Brennan Bosch, when he's going well, he can be a nice plus. When he's not, he's a liability, and right now he's not. His average has been just dropping like a rock. I think, I don't know when Carlos Guillen is going to come back, if at all. They missed him. Brandon Inge doesn't hit. A good defender, but he just doesn't hit the baseball. They didn't get anything out of Will Rhymes to get rid of him. Sizemore, problematic. Casper Wells kind of feeling Don. They then started playing Don Kelly a little more to try and get a little more offense. Well, if Don Kelly is the guy you're inputting to get more offense, your offense isn't very good. Let's put it that way. Roland Santiago, guys, they just didn't fill in the pieces. That said, they may still be the team to beat the AL Central. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that because they get good pitching, and I like Porcello quite a bit. But right now, Boston is a go-with team, and they shouldn't be the underdog, basically, in this game. I mean, the value here is with the Red Sox and even money. So I'm going the same way as you, John. I like Boston in this game. Reminder tonight, it is my big game. It's my 2011 baseball game of the year. Normally I'll do this later in the season, but I think the situation is there, and it's perfect tonight. I expect this game to be an easy winner. It's online right now at ProLineTV.com and some other websites for $500. Obviously, that's only for really big players. I want other people to have a chance to get this game as well. It's that good. So it's $49 if you call my office, 1-866-841-1665, 1-866-841-1665. And once again, John Jim with a monster 4-day weekend for a tiny little price of just $4.
Yeah, you can't beat that. 4 straight days of action starting today, the entire Memorial Day weekend. $4 for the entire 4 days. That includes 2 plays that are going today, one in the NHL and one in baseball. And you can get Jim's package for $4. 1-866-841-1655.
All right, we're back late on Friday and on Saturday as well. You want to make sure and check out the weekend edition of Proline. We will focus on the NBA playoff finals. The championship series is now set. It's the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks. We'll give you the details of both sides, break it down real well. Paul Bobie's going to be along. Either you or Jim will be on board as well. I'll be here. It's going to be a fun show, so make sure and check it out either late today or tomorrow right here at this website. And that's it. John, thanks as always. We'll talk to you guys later on.